I got some headlines for you. I got some big time headlines for everybody here. Why don't we update ourselves on Mr. Brian Graf and his podcast titled DC Pension Geeks? Guess I'll drink for that. Ooh, what was that going across the screen?
It looked like pancakes.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Oh, just wait.
Wait, JD, just say it again so we can try it again real fast.
Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those days.
Yeah,
Tahoe
yeah.
JD. The podcast is called DC Pension Geeks.
That's pancakes and blueberries.
Yep.
Yeah, Tito's.
Sounds like an Atari game.
So, what can I say?
Bubbles.
Except for, with no exaggeration, none at all, the third episode of Brian Graf's podcast just might be my favorite podcast of all time. Well,
JD, would you call it a banger? Is that what you call it?
It's a banger. What we are dealing with here is Mr. Tom Clark, who you can see there, and the boogeyman Jerry Schlichter, who is behind Roby, in a debate style format. And at about 30 minutes in or so, it starts to get heated. The fireworks explode as they discuss plan data. And thank God for Tom Clark, who gets it, because he battles the good fight. And Schlichter, the boogeyman, simply just doesn't understand it yet. He is stuck on this concept. And I want to talk about it, that record keepers cannot sell services to their plan participants, especially not by using data to mine them and find services for them. But the way I hear from him is he doesn't want the record keeper selling them anything outside of record keeping services. And Tom Clark.
That's not true.
Yeah, he said.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Justin.
No, he had said he's fine with it so long as like the participants acknowledge it and opt into it, is what I believe I remember him saying.
And that they're not using participant data to decide who to sell to.
Right.
That was his other thing.
Well, sure, but do you remember his example of the woman who was sold insurance? So what does he mean by opting in? Because I would assume that woman opted in, and he still complains that they're being, it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing or something, you know?
Did she opt in?
She did.
She agreed to,
she
agreed to move 300K over.
So I don't think Schlichter always really lines up his thoughts properly, which is shocking to me as a really successful plaintiff's attorney. Sometimes his logic doesn't match up. And I got news for you. Tom Clark fucking KOs the motherfucker. Like, he takes him out in that. And Brian Graf kind of jumps on his bandwagon too. Our drink for the knockout. But literally, if you have not listened to this podcast, you should. And I'm very concerned to see the leading plaintiff's attorney, or at least the most famous one, still have passionate beliefs about that he's going to go after these record keepers because, and Kelly, I'll get your thoughts here. You got some technology going on in what you do. I think the future for 401k is using this data and being able, I think a beautiful utopian 401k world 5 years from now, 10 years from now, is very automated, has all kinds of cool wellness tools, financial planning tools, insurance, budgeting tools, what have you. And to accomplish that, we're going to need to use these people's personal data to do this. And I say, let's go for it. Is this crazy?
It's a little crazy. Yeah. So like with AuditMiner, we have this, do we want to use participant data? Do we not? So right now we're kind of an early company. We have said we are not going to use participant data. We delete all participant data after we process it. But there is a world where if we could use that participant data, there is so much more we could do with our platform that could help the auditor, which is our customer. But I just don't think that they're ready for it yet. And I think there needs to be some more rules around, like, if you need to anonymize it and what participant data exactly can you use? Does it involve social security numbers? Does it involve date of birth or address or emails?
I'd kind of like,
and how can
it wild west right now?
And how can it be leveraged, that data? And Schlichter's whole point, and each of the examples were a bad apple. And
Yeah.
you hear this all the time when you look at different professions. Like, are there bad police officers? Yes. Does that mean all police officers are bad? No.
Yes.
And I felt like that was the example that Schlichter was trying to use, is that anybody who uses participant data is going to be selling shit that people don't need.
But like
And I
the
think
one
that's
bad actor
naive.
is such an impact though, and it like really hurts when they do it.
Well,
Well,
and Tom Clark's fight back of saying, well, maybe, and Brian Graf actually brought it up, maybe we need to be looking deeper at the definition of a fiduciary and the rules behind that. If people are operating in a fiduciary capacity, then they can't just sell someone something that they don't need.
Hackler's got a scary comment, which I told, very intelligent. Do we want Schlichter in the courts deciding what's allowed or not? Because the courts, to Hackler's point, they don't know shit either. So with the last two people you want figuring this out for us are those two people. So we need to take an initiative as an industry and put our foot down and tell these people, look, this is what the future of our industry looks like. It's going to be for the good of the people. By the way, everyone, we've talked about this before. This is how Google runs. This is how Facebook runs. This is how all these
and everybody fucking hates that.
They hate it, but
pissed
it's
at that, dude.
I don't hate it.
I don't think everyone hates it. I think a lot of people love the efficiency of it all. I think
we're just getting used to it. It's like a part of
that doesn't make
life.
it right though, dude.
Okay,
no
if
shit,
you're gonna
dude.
use my data to sell and make money yourself, but you better be giving me a cut. That's the only way I'd be okay with it.
Oh God,
dude.
Definitely an ESG play in this. You know, it's
Oh,
yep.
yes. I think Kelly nailed it. We need rules. And maybe those rules look like.
Whoa, that might be our first guest just pounding, like pulling a JD right there. Hold on. What was that, Kelly?
Bailey.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was something hardcore.
Oh, come on. That's great, Mark.
It's hard
I
enough.
I gave JD crap on tall cans yesterday for drinking Bailey's, so I can't rescind that.
Maybe it ends up being like a fiduciary responsibility where you go to the plan sponsors and the fiduciaries that are supporting them and say, look, you need to vet out what's being sold to these participants, whether it's wellness tools or planning tools or insurance or whatever. Like that could be really neat. All I'm saying is I just think that's such a bright future for us. And to go to go Schlichter's way is like going back to the caveman times. Like it makes no sense in the world we're in. And he just simply doesn't get it. But
well, here, JD, we've talked about this in the past. In my mind, these participants, they need something. And what they need may not be what is being offered within the 401k plan. Maybe they need to pay down college debt, and maybe they need some guidance on that. Maybe they need life insurance or long-term care for a family member. And if we can put what they need in front of them through the relationship that they have with the employee benefits, then we're doing some good. The problem is if we don't workplace solutions, if we don't access it there, then we're not going to get access to them anywhere else. The key is we have to be helping them with what they need. And this is the avenue to get there.
It's the way to do it. Last thing, I gave Brian Graf a lot of crap with his first episode. Although I did premise that it was the first episode and I understood why it would suck because it was the first one. He did much better in the second. And now I'm telling you, by the third one, he's hit a grand slam, right? He's knocked out of the park. I owe Brian Graf an apology. So I wrote a song for him, Mark.
Oh, Jesus fucking
You should stick to poems, not songs.
So I wrote a song for him. Let's see. I got to set this up. It's been a while since we've had a song.
You know, JD, I'll say this much. I'm pretty
Butterbeer.
I'm losing a little some of your cool points are dropping with me because after 3 episodes, you want to apologize. I think that's a pretty snap judgment, and I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna give it 20 episodes before I make a judgment.
Let's just say I'm not so certain he's gonna like my apology here. I don't know, so we'll see. Okay, I got to turn this little thing on that Brandon taught me how to do, and I'm gonna play my music, and we'll be done with this in just a little short while. It's just like a little blood test, a little prick, and it'll be over here soon. Let's see, find my music, and here we go. Okay, here we go.
Thanks, Kelly.
It's heartfelt. This is for you, Brian Graf. I'm sorry. Grafy, I'm so sorry. I doubted your podcast skills. That's not nice of me. I fucked it up. God damn it. I forgot my vibe. Sorry. Let's play this again.
Oh my god.
Dang it.
I think he should stick to haikus.
Stay in the pocket.
I can't right now. Grafy, so sorry. Doubted your podcast skills. And that's not nice of me. But Grafy, you redeemed by episode 2. Your skills were even better than me. I'm off tune here. So Grafy, my apologies. Your podcast with Schlichter and Clark was done phenomenally. So Butterbeer, don't you fear. I plan to be nicer the rest of the year. Fuck, I'm out. Forget it. God damn it. It's actually a really good song. I just forgot my rhythm. Oh well. I'm gonna drink for that, everybody. Yeah, horrible.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes.
I'm really impressed with you right now, JD.
Hey,
It happens sometimes. The
yeah, maybe on your third try it'll be good because
Maybe-
that's what Graf's podcast did.
Oh yeah.
Maybe yeah.
Well played, Mark.
That's about as bad as
I'm not gonna lie, I
Graf's
turned the
podcast.
volume all the way down and just waited for your guys' facial
God,
expressions to
it actually had a vibe to it. I just fucked it up. I don't know. I practiced it for quite a few times. It didn't work. Okay, it's not an intro. It's not a mid.
You should not admit you practiced that.
It's not an intro. It's not a mid-tro. It's a what, Justin?
It's an outro. Yeah, I still don't like that, man.
I'm sure he appreciates the effort.
Beta.
We're gonna intro. Justin can intro the guest, and you out there in the audience, you're gonna rank him on a 0 to 10. Let's do it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, she's the world champion juggler, breast cancer survivor, a marathon runner, an entrepreneur and fintech CEO. Yes, I'll drink for that. But for the life of me, I can't understand why she eats cold leftover pancakes while driving in her car. Like what? Seriously?
I did. I'm busy.
What's that?
I'm busy. That's what I mean.
But
Like
cold.
you're
They're
running.
cold. Who eats cold pancakes?
I mean, you've never done that? Like cold
No,
leftover
I
pancakes
haven't.
for breakfast? Who are you? Really not that different.
Normal?
I like waffles.
Cold? Leftover? Anyways,
I was hungry. Okay, come on.
Now I get
Still
why we
fatter.
have pancakes on the Acrosen.
There you go.
You like really dug for that one. Yes, I'm from Nebraska.
it's just on Twitter. It was easy to get through. They're fine. But anyways, co-founder of AuditMiner, Miss Kelly Mann, or Mrs. Kelly Mann, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't mind cold pancakes. Kelly, there's an
Mine is
article
nice.
from NapaNet titled "Warning: The federal government could be coming for your 401k." This also comes from Brian Graf, he's sending out this warning to the industry. He thinks this is serious shit, and I'll come up with some of his quotes here. Advisors, take note. A major threat to the country's private retirement plan system arrived largely unnoticed in December with the introduction of the Retirement Savings for Americans Act. It's innocently positioned as something that will sit alongside our current private sector plans rather than compete with it. But according to this article from the National Association of Plan Advisors, don't be fooled. This legislation will allow employers that do not provide a retirement plan or cease to offer a retirement plan the option to auto-enroll employees and independent contractors into a new government-managed retirement fund. Do you guys remember several months ago when we talked about Teresa Gilarducci? She was on
Yep.
John Sullivan's podcast. she was kind of playing this out, and they're actually using some of her white papers to kind of build this solution. So I got some other quotes from Brian, but I want your guys' thoughts first. This sounds like kind of what you were talking about, Chad, like a federal type of plan. You thought this might be a good thing, but this one looks like a bad one.
So no, different. I think, and I put it in the chat bar. I think it was Senate Bill 1234, which originally came out, which led to the state
That sounds
mandate
so made up.
that people, the different states have now put into place. But this is different than what I was saying, JD. I'm thinking that the government will eventually step in, force some sort of enrollment vehicle. This is through the government. I'm thinking that they'll use the new Starter K program that's in the Secure 2.0 as the tool to force businesses to offer a vehicle. Now, I think that we will see a federal law come into play and force something. What I desperately don't want is for that vehicle to be in the public sector. I don't want it to be government ran. It needs to be private ran. And it should have a flavor of what we have been so successful with for 40 plus years now, which is the case space. The DC.
Well, if you remember why we got kind of uptight with Teresa, it was because she basically said that 401ks were failing. If you remember, she called them an immature, underdeveloped child. That's how she referred to 401k. And so
I thought she was talking about me.
So her solution was one that also included a government match, if you remember that, and that's part of this one.
Weird. Yeah.
So,
Like, why would
ahead,
I,
Kelly.
as a small employer, start my own 401k if I can just have my employees invest in this?
And they get a match.
And they get a match.
And they get a match
And,
with
like,
no
you guys are
expenses.
paying for it, not
Now-
me.
Now,
So
that's
hey, look, Kelly. So Kelly, that's a 401k killer, right?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I have to admit, I'm going to save money and not offer one if my employees can just go into the federal program and get a match there and let the taxpayers pay for it.
Yeah. Sorry, Chad, you had a thought.
I forgot what I was going to say. No, what I was going to say is that the match is for, based upon what I read briefly, severely low income folks. You'll phase out as your household has a certain income level. The other, isn't there a savers credit that's very similar to this right now? If you're contributing to a plan and your employer doesn't offer a match, you're getting a savers credit
isn't there
back.
going to be
Yeah, that's what
something
you're
like
saying.
that? Yeah, in the future.
The Insecure 2.0 is already written into play. So we're seeing them go down a path. What do we know they want to do? They want to limit the coverage gap. They want to force the hands because there's fear of Social Security not being around forever. And they're going to try to do this through the private sector, through business. And they're not going to do it as an individual level. And so this is just, I think, another way of kind of trying to, JD, you always just say climbing over the wall, climbing under the wall, climbing around the wall. They're just trying to find another way to implement what they want. I cannot imagine any form of our government deciding that this is going to go in-house
Well,
and it be ran that way.
Webby said that Teresa's been talking about this for years and nothing has come to fruition. You're saying
It
you
has
don't-
14 states, guys. 14 states
very
have
different
state
than this.
mandates.
But
Very
yeah,
different.
Not very different.
is this version allowing for the ability to save on the level of 401k, or is it kind of still IRA limit? I didn't see that in the article.
Oh, I'm not sure they're going to have like limits like that so much, because let's be clear, this is a wealthy person, high paid thing right now. What this is saying is that 401ks are slanted towards business owners and wealthy people, and that the rank and file, Mark hates it when I use that, but the lower paid employees are getting discriminated against when it comes to 401k plans. And so this is their solution. This would be something that's more focused at the lower paid people. But everyone that's kind of saying, hey, this isn't really a threat, I don't think Brian Graf rallies the troops and puts stuff out there like this if he doesn't think it's a threat. And I'll find a quote from you. This is what he said right here. Is this going to happen this year? No. Is this going to happen next year? Highly unlikely. However, this is the beginning of a multi-year battle over whether the government should take over the private retirement system. He's concerned about this. This has bipartisan support. And so we cannot just ignore this kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely not. We cannot ignore it.
So
Don't
I
we
think
have
it's
something like this in Australia for their retirement
for
plans?
sure.
A
Superannuation.
little bit, yeah,
right?
so, yeah, it's operates a bit differently though, where the employer funds it, but yeah.
So it sounds
The
to me
not a
employer
like
bad
funds it like
solution.
maybe 7.65% on each dollar earned, up to 162,000 for Social Security, and then maybe
Something like that.
little more on Medicare thereafter. I don't know,
Like
sounds
10% right
similar.
now.
sounds to me like
Really?
But the
they're
difference is it's sitting in the individual, like the investor gets to actually choose where it's invested in to a degree.
we'll
Kind of like
move,
our state runs plan.
we'll move to the next one, but last sentence from Graf, just to get everyone's attention. Wait, I'm stealing his words. Let me assure you, this is not a drill. It is a very real long-term threat to the retirement plan industry. Do I have your attention yet? That is what Brian
No.
got. So, well, he should, Mark. You should be paying close attention.
Isn't the dude who founded Napster involved in this somehow?
Yeah,
With all his
that's
billions
right.
of dollars.
Mhm.
I
love
hear
that.
that, and I heard that. I just stopped reading. I'm like, that'll just blow up.
I love that. That's what Roby
See
pulled
ya.
from the whole
He
article.
pulled from the whole article.
Oh, the Napster
Kate-
guy. Sick.
Kate's comment, follow the money. I mean, we've had so many folks
Yeah.
step into this show and say that, and they've been right every time with where that money leads. Could be another one of those examples.
Yeah, we need to be really careful with that. So it sounds like this is why you lean on the American Retirement Association. They're gonna bring the people down there, talk to the government peeps, and make sure that they're aware of what this can do. And by the way, there's a great article, so you should read this because it kind of counters a lot of their points and talks about why the 401k is doing a good job.
Yeah,
and
it
I
was
think
solid.
I think the capitalist in Chad Johansson too believes that if we can inspire business owners to create retirement plans for their own benefit and get the employees to come along for the ride and benefit as well, that's the real solution. I don't think we should create solutions that ignore the business owners and the highly paid people and try to focus on the lower paid. Like, we need to do this together as a community, not in spite of each other. But so we'll see. I think this one's fun. This is an acronym, I'm sure it is. CNBC reports.
I actually don't know what it stands for.
It's got to be National
Central
Broadcast
News
something. Reports with a video interview and an article titled, well, there you see it. Morgan Stanley is testing open artificial intelligence powered by chatbot for its 1,600 financial advisors. Watch the video.
16,000.
Sorry. Watch the video. Read the article. This is happening. For the past year, Morgan Stanley has been testing it within their company. They now have a more deep business relationship with open artificial intelligence, and they are customizing things around the, I don't know, ChatGPT 4, the newest one that came out.
That's not even fair.
Where, if I could explain this simply, where Morgan Stanley's saying, hey, we've got a lot of intel, right? We've got tens of thousands of white papers. We've got videos, opinions, statements, people. Like, they have a lot of intelligence amongst their company within Morgan Stanley. And we want that value to be available to someone in a click to be able to do it. And so we want our financial advisors to be able to answer questions from our clients that are very complicated, that cover a variety of nuances and different things. And humans simply cannot do that. We can't retain all that stuff in our brain. But with the help of artificial intelligence, your financial advisor can now answer questions for clients that are very complicated. When everyone talks about artificial intelligence or ChatGPT, they talk about kids cheating in school, right? No, they're not going to write their own papers. They're going to use this thing to... So if we're against kids not writing their own papers, are we equally against advisors not giving their own intelligence?
Nope.
No, you're down.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it just comes down to the number of people in the world, I feel like. I mean, how are we possibly, there's so many people retiring that have that knowledge, and the people that are coming up behind them, there's just not enough of them to replace. And so, like, how are we possibly going to manage the need in the world when we literally do not have the humans to do it? We have to have AI to supplement us.
Or, and like,
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say twofold. One, to make us more efficient. And I'll give an example in a second, but to the experience, you're talking about the people phasing out the experience. If we can help the next generation learn at twice the pace we did by using this, we should be.
Great.
And my example, JD, I called American Funds today, Cap Group, and I had some questions about solo Ks and what offerings they had for certain BDs. And I could tell, and I looked at the dude up on LinkedIn. He's only been there for 10 months. Thanks, Mark. He's only been there for 10 months, but he was able to answer all of my questions fairly quickly. And at times he would say, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm searching this. I'll pull up something that will give me the answer. And I know they've got a database of materials like you're describing. And he's essentially just pulling something that somebody else wrote that tells him, oh, does this broker dealer offer a solo K and have a selling agreement with us? Why can't AI make that even quicker? Dang, that's
it's essentially our generation's Google.
I think
Just a hell of
about
a lot more
my
advanced.
11-year-old daughter. Why do I want her to be better at writing a paper or doing research? Like, do I want her to know how to memorize, or do I want her to know how to find the answer?
You're very forward on this. I love this. You're
That's a tough
saying
one.
the latter. I love this.
That was a really good point.
Do you know that it was like Socrates or Plato or someone that was concerned that we were going to put ideas on paper, or stone or whatever it was, because
Really?
because they thought speaking it from one human to another was a far better way to like share information. And if we wrote it down, that human beings would get lazy and they wouldn't have to retain it in their own brain because it'd be written down on paper or scrolls or whatever they're written on. So pretty interesting.
We'll do it live.
And that,
Fucking thing. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I think that's my biggest fear, to Kelly's point, though, retaining that knowledge. Because even I've noticed since, for our generation, like, we don't have to retain the shit that you guys did back in the day reading encyclopedias, and
Right.
that's not always a good thing.
Well,
but
Justin, come on, we used encyclopedias. We're not that young.
the tail end.
You were talking about the younger generation being able to learn quicker and some of the more experienced people leaving. I think most people look at artificial intelligence and think, no, it's the level of intelligence, for lack of a better word, will be 10x the smart person that's leaving. It'll be 100x that person. Like, the computer's going to know this shit way more than the most experienced person at Morgan Stanley ever could. And so it will be this tool that, first it's going to be a tool, by the way, then it's going to be, here goes the doomsday, like Terminator thing, right? First, it's a tool that your advisor uses to be really smart and answer questions and help clients. Next, it's like, well, why do we need the advisor if the artificial intelligence can speak like a human and answer those questions? And now we get to a tricky spot, look on the Brandon's videos here, and that could come really quickly. So,
and I think it's just going to widen the discrepancy of the levels of income in the world, like exponentially.
Oh, interesting.
How so? What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
But these like Morgan Stanley, if they're going to use AI, they don't need these advisors. They don't have to employ these people. It's the same. Whereas you guys have your own small business and can't afford the same thing.
Yeah. I think, what they're worried about? This is the flip of what happened earlier in the world, right? When machines came in to fix things and build cars and do all that stuff, we were worried about the kind of low-ranking employees. And now with AI, you're worried about like doctors and hedge fund managers and financial service. Like, all those people are going to lose their jobs pretty quickly. I would
force us to evolve.
I would like to think that we will all use it as a tool and we'll just become super powered at what we do. But
there would need to be a lot of change in who and what people are comfortable buying with and from. It's still a relationship business in almost every walk of the sales process, especially in our industry. Yeah. And that's why robo-advisors have not taken off the way everybody thought they would. It's because people want to work with someone that's going to give them guidance, that can listen to their story and provide direction, not just say, here you go, without any kind of relationship.
Can I tell you what Elon Musk said about artificial intelligence, which I thought was really interesting? He says, no, like, yeah, we're all using ChatGPT right now. I'll drink, but how this will evolve is Kelly will have her own artificial intelligence, which will be like aligned with Kelly's virtues, Kelly's things that she's interested in. So it'll be like making Kelly kind of a cyborg that's 100 times, has more intelligence than she had before because of her artificial intelligence. Chad's will be a Chad AI. Justin's will be a Justin AI. We'll all have our own kind of customized thing. I like turtles. All right. So
JD, you do have like 4 acrosins with all those artificial intelligence.
Gotcha. Let's play a game. Let's play the totally original. When I thought of this game, I just had that moment in the shower, where I thought to myself, what if we played a game on the show where we did a thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing? I started to piece it all together on paper, and I invented the best game ever, the totally original Nope or Dope game.
The most shocking thing you just said there was taking a shower.
I got news for you. No matter how much you do it, drinking vodka straight from the bottle stings a bit,
Brandon, do it. Do
I've
it.
been drinking a lot of vodka in my free time.
Brandon is on point.
Every time.
Now I'm doing it on my job right now. It's rough. Okay, Kelly, the way this works is I'm going to throw something at you, and you're going to let us know if you think it's dope or nope, and why you think as such. This one came to me recently. I didn't know this existed. I love that someone comes and cuts my grass, and it takes care of my landscaping. I love that someone can come and wash my Lambos and detail them for me and, keep everything clean. But I didn't know that this existed. Do you know that there's such a thing as a trash valet person? Someone can come to your house and take your trash cans out to the curb for you. Kelly?
Yes.
You're down for this. Why?
Okay, so I have a few rental properties, single family rental properties, right? And I would totally pay someone and put it into their rent to have them go and take the trash to the street, because half the time they never do it and the trash is overrun. Like, I would love that. And if I'm on vacation, like the trash is on Tuesday, we leave for vacation on Saturday and our trash doesn't go out that week. I have a family of 5. It's just going to fill up again. So I would totally pay someone to come and take my trash to the street.
As you would expect a certified public accountant to do, that was a very logical response to that question. Mark, have you never like woke up at 6 a.m, 7 a.m, and realized you forgot to bring the trash cans to the curb and ran out there in your underwear, dragging them to the curb, worried that they're going to pass you by?
Dude, I used to get woken up by my dad at home when I was like 11 years old when I didn't do it and had to run out in the cold in the street to take it out. So I know exactly how that feels, and I'm totally nope on this. That's just lazy. I mean, we're over here talking about artificial intelligence taking our jobs. Now we can't even take out the fucking trash? No, absolutely not. Jim, if your driveway's a mile long, so what? Too bad. You bought the property, dum-dum. Like, take out your own garbage.
Justin, you think this could be a valuable service?
At first, I kind of had a similar thought as Mark did, but then I realized I have those type of people at my complex here. So, whoops.
We're not going to ask Chad because Chad burns his trash. All right, we'll go to the next one. Someone in the chat bar just said JD running out to the curb in his underwear or something. Well, it kind of parlays into this next question. Kelly, sleeping butt naked. So no pajamas, no underwear, just sleeping naked in your bed. Are you okay with this? Nope or dope?
Nope.
Down. Why? What's wrong with these people?
Well, first of all, everybody farts at night. And like, there's nothing against that.
Hey, JD, that needs to be the title of your next song.
Brandon, you need to cut that and edit it into a clip like that, like Hacklers, because that needs to be on the show from here on out.
So what are you saying, Kelly? You need a barrier for the fart?
Yes, you need a
Okay.
barrier. That you don't need any other reason.
That's it.
That's
Okay,
it.
fine. Chad, are you okay with sleeping naked, or how do you feel about this?
I mean, there was a stage in my life where I thought that was awesome, but with 2 kids that run into the room constantly, yeah, no, not happening.
Yeah.
That's a nope.
Justin.
With a body like mine, you just don't sleep naked, JD.
Oh, stop. I will. I don't want to know because I think Roby's naked under that robe right now, so we won't go to robe guy. But I will tell you, I do it because it just it's very comfortable. Like I get hot at night, it just feels nice. But I will say, it comes with its cons, like its downsides. Like you definitely feel like you can't, jump out of bed. I have concerns about if a burglar breaks into my house.
A fire?
I'm gonna.
Okay, can I wait? I know you know my answer, JD, but can I tell a story?
Sure.
When you lived in Dublin, we went to like a A's game or something, and we came back. I think it was the night I lost my phone. I was passed out on your couch downstairs, and your dogs were going nuts, so you were bringing them downstairs. And I remember in my hazy fog look, I rolled over and I just caught a glimpse of you running back upstairs, holding your junk with your ass just hanging. Just right now, I looked over at somebody and I was like, "Was he naked?"
Dude, that is the next problem. That is the next problem is you forget if you have guests in your home.
Yeah, but by the way, we're also
You're watching that
employees.
naked and your kids are home too? I mean, come on, dude.
The chat comment has a point. The more people that sleep naked is better for the trash business.
Very true.
Great, that's good. Okay, last one. less funny, but we talked about Morgan Stanley and ChatGPT. I'll drink. But what about using it as a business person? I'll admit something to everyone. I had to host a show yesterday on a debate between 2 people. I asked the artificial intelligence machine that I just mentioned what kind of good questions I could ask people on it, and it spat out like a bunch of pretty cool stuff. I gave it another prompt. It gave me some more detailed ones. I used half of them, to kind of start my conversation. So I think we know where Kelly's going to go with this based on her earlier comments, but using this tool to write Kelly's next blog, or you're down, you're in on this stuff.
So I've been using not chat 3 letters, but consistently I use copy.ai. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Oh, but you're going to drink for that one. But
yeah, like if I need to write something for the website, or I don't know, anything like a webinar intro, I'll just type about what I'm going to be talking about, and it will spit out this amazing paragraph that summarize it in a friendly tone or a professional tone or a fun tone or a luxury tone.
Yes.
So I've been using it for 5 years now.
I heard a rumor that Taylor Swift is using it to write her next album.
What quartile do you think you're in, Kelly, of certified public accountants in terms of using technology and being so modern and forward thinking? I'm thinking you must be in the top 1% or something.
I don't think I am, but
you're an anomaly. You're an anomaly.
Yeah, you are.
I think
have you guys obviously are not fans of tax Twitter, hashtag tax Twitter?
No. Is anybody?
I saw you.
It's you have to go. It's hilarious.
Kelly, we're not one of the 6 followers of hashtag tax Twitter. No, we're not. But I think in a lot of your peers use staplers and pens on paper. You see.
I mean, I still got a stapler. I still got my paper and pen. I still have right now I do it. It answers my questions for me, the really hard ones.
Nice.
Oh wow.
I mean, I'm still old school. But...
Chad, you're a nerd. You're somewhat old school. Are you gonna use this stuff to write your next article for Plan Sponsor magazine?
So I couldn't. I did an article for Plan Consultant recently, and somebody who's here right now said, "Hey, use artificial intelligence to create the fluff," because it was a shit ton of words I had to write, and I didn't. I couldn't.
Why?
And reason being is
you couldn't bring yourself to it.
A little bit of both. I tried. I couldn't get the prompting.
Chad thinks
Oh,
he's smarter
get
than
anything
the
that was good
artificial
enough.
intelligence.
Hey,
Okay.
That's what, if you saw my comment to Tony in the chat bar, I said, Tony, you need to train people on this. He wasn't the one that told me to do this, by the way, but I said, you need to train advisors on how to use AI prompting and get better at it.
It's not that
Kind of like
complicated.
Grafton teaching
It's
people how to
pretty-
use social media.
It's pretty intuitive, but I like that. Like 8 years ago, we were trying to teach Chad how to use Instagram, and now we're trying to teach him how to use the AI stuff.
I do want to say something though. Like I will not use that and write a blog post and say it's my words. Like that goes against my moral ethics right now. I'm gonna say written with assistance of chat.
Ooh, that's cool.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, if it's just like a paragraph where I'm not saying, yes, I wrote this, I'm fine with it, but I'm not going to say these are my words and relate to computers. Like I can't handle that
That's
one.
fair enough. I like that though. That's evolution. Tony, I'm with you. Prompting is an art and a skill in itself.
And I have not figured it out yet.
But
So
it's
teach
fairly
me.
intuitive. But you got to play with it a little bit. Yes.
Guy had a great question for Kelly. I want to make sure we don't pass it. It says, what's your take on the new 5,500 participant count reducing the need for a plan audit?
Depends. Are you asking me like Kelly Mann, the employer, the business owner, or are you asking me Kelly Mann, the auditor?
The first one fucking
Let's go with the
first
first
one
one.
likes it, the second one fucking hates it.
Yep.
I mean, I'm here for I'm here for the
Give
people.
us the auditor
Like,
approach.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for the people. When I audit plans, the plans that have under 100 people are the ones that are ripe with errors. Okay, their compensation's wrong. They're not putting people in the plan when they're eligible. The forfeiture calculations and hours are wrong. That's where all the errors are. And so I'm like, they need to be audited. But at the same time, there might be literally 30 people that actually have money in the plan, but they have high turnover. And so they have all these other people that are eligible. And they can't afford the audit and they don't care about it anyway.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like,
You don't mind raising the bar a little bit. That's fine by you.
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I think it's a good thing. So
I do too.
Yeah.
It's not. We read an article recently, and I think it was Webby actually who's in here who wrote it, if I remember correctly. But we're not going to see much of a difference after 2 years once we have automatic enrollment enforced in all these startup
Good point.
plans.
So
Like the account balances are going to climb dramatically.
I would argue the automatic enrollment mandates will swing in Kelly's favor. Yeah.
I agree. And I think they estimated that 10% of plans that have audits right now will no longer need them, which is about 8,300.
But then how many
for how?
new and growing plans through Secure 2.0
That
will
wouldn't
need
have
audits
had it
in the
before.
future?
And let's be honest, when we talk about headwind to people opening plans, audit cost is one of them. And you're talking to a small business and you tell them you're going to have automatic enrollment in a few years and you're going to be an audited plan no matter what you do in all reality, because we're going to see a 90% participation rate with automatic enrollment in.
Yep.
That's a headwind they're going to experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's 10,000 a year right there.
This is a phenomenal segue. Chad, if you got like a smartphone in front of you or anybody out there, I challenge you to go to auditminer.com right now. And Kelly, we don't usually do a lot of kind of like corporate plugs, but on this show, we just like to talk to you. And you've done a phenomenal job. Like you are a great guest. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like I love having you on this show. It's a good vibe. It's good value add stuff. But I went to auditminer.com and I was blown away by one, the beauty of this site. Like it's really well designed, looks really great. Coincidentally, and I told you this, we had a spotlight feature last week, I believe, which was a 15-minute kind of product spotlight on a company that you're aware of. Help me out again. What's it?
It's Audtire. Don't make me say it.
Audtire. You're like some kind of version of that, but looks like a really like well-established professional one. I'm looking at top 200 firms that use AuditMiner, 50 plus, 800 plus plans processed in 2021. You got the same pitch of like the hours saved. So here we go. Go ahead and plug away. Let the audience know like what is this? Did you create this and when
Yeah.
and how is it going for you?
Well, it's going really well, better than I ever could imagine. So the story starts when I was in public accounting and I was always looking for ways to do things differently, challenging the status quo, and a young female in a male-dominated world that doesn't always go over well, okay? And every year I was told, try not to be such a bull in a china shop.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
And so I had this epiphany and I was like, you know what? I'm okay with being a bull, but I'm not okay living in a china shop. And I quit my job. And I went to start my own CPA firm where all I was going to do was audit 401k plans. And basically, oh, dang it.
Keep talking and we'll save them up.
Okay, thank you. So I was only going to audit 401k plans. And I started calling all the really big technology players in my space saying, hey, what software do you have for 401k audits? And nobody had anything. And they all started calling me back. Literally, the 6 companies had a representative call me back and say, we're interested too. And they tried to get my ideas out. And after I think 8 different phone calls and Zoom calls, I said, okay, if all they want is my vision, I'm going to try and own my vision.
And help me out, like what year is this?
Early 2019.
Okay.
So I canceled my remaining calls and I literally Googled how to start a software company.
Too bad you didn't have ChatGPT.
I know, right? If I would have had Chat, I'm not gonna say that, but I would have been miles ahead. So anyway, so that's kind of where it started. And my vision was like, this is what technology can do. We do so many mundane, routine, copy, paste, summarization, pivot tables that take hours in a 401k audit. And the clients don't care about that at all. They're like, what am I paying you $350 an hour?
Care about it. They hate it. It's a pain in their ass, right?
They have a company to run, not a 401k to run. And so I just started like asking 45 CPAs around the country, hey, what are your frustrations? And I literally put all of this into a word map, right? I copied every single word that people said, put it in a word map. And I said, what is the words that are standing out in the word map? And it was reports, record keeper reports. I was like, okay, this is where the problem is. This is where I'm going to stop. So what AuditMiner does is, you guys know, like you could have your 401ks at John Hancock or
Empower, Principal,
all
whatever.
of them. All of them produce different looking reports for the auditor. And one of my when I was doing discovery, they said you almost have to know how to read 20 different languages to decipher these reports, which is true. And so basically what you do is you take those raw data reports, put them into AuditMiner, and it in seconds spits out all of the reports you need in the exact same fashion for the auditor. And select samples, and then it also gives you procedures to consider performing.
And that's it at the core of it. It's the record keepers spit outs, and then putting those in a kind of a unified format, standardized format that you can use.
Yeah. So
that saves auditors hours and hours and hours and hours.
10 to 20 hours per audit. So the cool thing is that we released our product in 2021. Okay, so April of 2021. And 2022, we did 4x our number of customers, and we hit $1 million in revenue in our first calendar year.
I love that you share numbers like that. That's the entrepreneur in me. I love that. People
tell me not to, but
no, I love that. We need to hear that stuff. It's valuable to the people that are listening in. I'm looking at an image of you with your teammates at AuditMiner, and you said $1 million in revenue. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yourself. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people in this picture. Who knows where it's at now, but you've done this.
It's 13. So the cool thing is every single one of us, including myself, was hired in 2022.
Oh, wow.
No employees in 2021.
Wow.
We were able, off of customer revenue, no investment, no funding. We hired everybody. And the really cool thing is it was off of our beta, off of our prototype. Yeah. We didn't even have it on the web yet. So what you're seeing right now, that was released literally last Monday.
I'm so glad you're not a venture capital backed private equity backed. That sounds like a nightmare, right?
I don't know how people do it.
Looming over you, going like, "Hey Kelly, I gave you $50 million. Like, when are you gonna come true for
so
me?"
The version 1, as we call it, was released last Monday. The really cool thing is it's not even audit season yet, and to date we have brought in more revenue than we did last year.
Do you have plans to?
How many Lambos do you have?
0 right now, but I'm gonna talk to JD here.
I might need to dump one because I bank with SVB, so I might need to get you a Lambo. If you want to use
Mark,
what?
If you're looking for a
Justin,
fluorescent yellow one, I might be able to help you out. Are you looking to expand products? Will you go beyond this and see how else you could help these auditors be more efficient?
So, I mean, I have a big vision of what we could do. So the MVP was basically what is the minimally viable product? Dang it, the minimally viable product that we can produce that people will pay for, because I am not a millionaire and I don't want to take investment. So we started baby small.
And
My
you
vision
check
goes
that
much
box.
bigger.
And you check that box. So you do. Okay. Wow.
My-
Damn. We got a real entrepreneur here.
A
That's
real
my son
entrepreneur.
going for it.
And I wrote in the chat bar, because what you have solved in the audit space is one of the major issues in the payroll to record keeper space, when one record keeper titles a deferral DEF and another one titles it EEDEF.
Yep.
And so that technology could be incredible.
Yeah, and I do think that there's potentially
One of them was eligible.
I was giving an example, Mark. That was not an acrosin.
I think there's also other
you
industries.
saying employee that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that one.
Kelly, go ahead. You're more important.
I think
than
there's
our
other
silly
industries
games.
that could benefit, and I haven't done the market exploration, but maybe the financial advisor industry could benefit from this type of technology as well if you're independent.
We had a guest on. No, yeah, it was a guest, but for our live show, Brian Brashaw was talking about a third-party firm that was going to help with 360 integration for record keepers and payroll companies. So there's lots of to compete with like the disruptors that are claiming they do this so well. So there's lots of these types of
massive
things.
need. That's a massive need. And Mark, by the way, I had 3 tallies there for Kelly during that
I
rant.
did one.
All right, you owe 2 more. Okay.
I think as an entrepreneur too, when you're starting out, you really need good advertising space done, and
That's true.
You gotta start small, right? Grassroots. So just so you know, there's robe space available for
how much for that
AuditMiner patch. Ed in the chat is trying to take this spot right here.
Okay.
I said big bucks, and Tony said he's my manager and he's going to negotiate for me. So I'm just, if you want on the road, Tony will.
Mark,
he'll negotiate.
I'm gonna call up my marketing girl Carolyn to watch at whatever number we're at, wherever minutes we're at right now, and get a hold of you. We're a startup.
I know that your revenue is higher than it's ever been, so don't lowball me.
Mark,
company you're gonna find.
Mark just wants stock options.
Yeah,
please,
as do I.
Please,
Mark, you could get some right there on the little seam right there. You could get a few more. Like, it's not just above plan design.
You could give me like 10 of them, and I'll do up and down. Just boom, boom,
just
boom.
like this little.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That'd be a great place. Congratulations,
Thank
Kelly.
you.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a ride, because as you mentioned, I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I was diagnosed 6 months after I started the company.
Has Brandon missed?
Gosh.
April 1st of 2020.
Has Brandon?
I mean, you're a beast.
Wow, rough timing right there.
It was a horrible year.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to you.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We did it though.
You did it.
Well, I wasn't alone, but.
I'm trying to pull something up on this site. Okay, sorry, derailed here. All right, this has been a great show so far, except for my song. So I apologize to everyone about that. I really had a good song, I just couldn't pull it off. Let's go chap our champion, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of after show, because I got something else I want to talk about. Last week's chap our champion was none other than Kate Clark. You remember that, Chad? Roby, Justin?
Mm-hmm. I wasn't here for that. No.
I had thoughts of sending her just pounds of meat, because she's out on that ranch and she's killing cows and doing what she does, mending fences and all that kind of stuff. And so I thought, yeah, we'll just send her a ton of meat. But and then I thought, no, let me go to Target and buy her all kinds of crazy dish soaps and who knows what. And then I said, you know what? I'm not feeling it. I'm feeling mature. I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling like giving her a gift. She's a partner of ours. She does business with us. She's a friend of ours, more importantly. We hang out with her at different conferences. My wife and her are old-fashioned drinking buddies. So I attempted to send her a bottle of Blanton's, So if anyone's aware of that, a really cool little bottle with a little horse on the top and very nice liquor, but and some smeared off ice because I thought she could. Oh, we haven't spun the wheel.
Don't need to. Don't need to.
Because she could drink Smirnoff with us, but where she lives out there in Florida, they just don't have any of that stuff. So I got her some Woodford and some other stuff. But we love you, Kate. I hope you enjoy that Woodford and make some old fashions with it. You were last week's Chat Bar champion. Who will this week's Chat Bar champion be? Justin, we're going to start with you. Silent J, who is your vote?
I'm going with Kushner. He got me with his. He's so old. He remembers when water was free and porn cost money.
I feel like Kush that's a real play at the win. Like he's going for that. Chad.
Yeah.
I need a second. There was a lot of good tonight, and I highlighted 2, and I need to go back and I need to tally them, JD.
Okay, fair enough. Roby.
Tony Davis, just because he's volunteered to be my manager, so this is exciting. Yeah.
Wow.
He even put the cost in the chat bar too.
I know he's working all the deals for me. He's basically like my artificial intelligence.
All right, boom. we got a Kush vote. We got a Tony vote. All right.
Do I get a vote?
This is your turn. Who do you want to vote for?
Wait. I was going to vote for Chad because he's the one that talked about she dropped a fart in a comment with ease. I really appreciated that.
Chad,
you can't vote for me.
I just realized it's Chad and it doesn't count, so I don't need to.
You can't do it.
Never mind.
But that will forever live in my memory.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to share that with the kids because they're going to think that's hilarious.
Do you have another vote or you?
I have another. The one that said I was going to be a gazillionaire. Oh, man.
All right, let's find out who said that she was going to be a gazillionaire.
I think that was Tony.
That's going to be Oh, is it? That's important.
I think it was Tony.
Tony says it was
Webby.
Webb.
Yeah, it was
okay.
Webby.
So we got a Webby. We got a Cushy and we got a Tony, right?
I had Pankaj early.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, it's solid all night.
He still never said why he said good morning though. I'm still confused.
Well, we covered that last week, Mark. That was a last week conversation. There was a number of really solid comments tonight, but I cannot go away from Tony Davis. It's perfect throughout the entire evening.
Perfect. Right. Wow, that's sweet.
We got 2 Tony Davises. We got a Kush, and we got a what was it, Roby? And a Webby. A Webby?
Yeah.
Kush and Webby. Okay. Let's go. I'll vote for Webby, just because I like to see a head-to-head fucking smackdown. So
could have voted for Kush.
It's Tony versus Webby. Fuck Kush. Kush has had his spotlight for a while. He needs to sift back in the shadows. It's Tony versus Webby, head-to-head in the chat bar. Get ready, guys. Get your fingers by the keyboard. Get ready. Roby?
Yeah.
You're going to have them finish the sentence. So spit it out there.
The title of JD's next song will be...
All right, let's see it. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be quick. You can take a little bit of time. See if I had some housekeeping notes. I got a housekeeping note. It's going to bum everybody out, but...
That your trash needs to go out?
Nope.
Housekeeping?
Actually, it's not going to bum everybody out. Mark, Chad, Justin.
No show next week.
Brandon, take the week off next week.
What?
Dude, I'm not lying. I booked my flights back from SoCal or from NorCal to be here in time for a show. I fly out at 6 a.m. Thursday morning.
Nobody has changed airline change fees anymore. Stop complaining.
Dude, your flight's going to get delayed anyways. You're not going to be home on time.
Hey guys, we have our answers in the chat bar, just so you know.
Oh, what do we got?
Girl, you know it's true. And whispers of a fool.
Those are 2 good ones.
Those are 2 good ones.
Usually we just know who the winner is.
I think Kelly needs to pick the winner.
Okay, Kelly, you pick. JD, the title of JD's next song, Girl You Know It's True or Whispers of a Fool?
Webby, I really like you, but I'm going to have to go with Whispers of a Fool.
Oh, Tony Davis.
That was mine. That was my vote too there.
Okay, Tony Davis, 100 pounds of cat food will be delivered next week. Solid. To the AI master, to the AI master.
Did Tony use AI for that?
Oh, I hope he did.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Next week we're
He said he did.
He says yes.
no way. Next week we will take the week off. We'll take Thursday off. And guys, don't
Where are
complain.
you going?
We've been doing this shit. I'm going to Mexico for some surfing.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
Truth comes
dude. We've been busting this shit out, man, since COVID, like every week. Give us a break once in a while. We'll be back the next week, the next Thursday after that. Fuck, I apologize not only to Brian Graf, but I apologize to everyone for my song performance. It actually was a good song. I might try it in the after show if anyone wants to.
I'll stick with you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for being
Kelly.
a freaking phenomenal guest.
Yeah.
Like,
Awesome.
really good guest. And congrats on the success of your company and everyone out there listening in, whether here live or in the future on the internet. Check that out. Like, we support you. Hope
Thank
we
you.
can grow that thing and it can evolve to those 2.0 and 3.0 levels you're talking about. Thank you to the audience out there. You guys are awesome. We love you. And yeah, let's Kate Clark.
And Kate.
Sick. Let's get out of here. Let's play some music, maybe a little after show, and then we'll call it a wrap.